Welcome Guyana Forest Sector Operators. This video is a guide to Guyana Forestry Commission's wood tracking system. It is a vital tool developed in the early 2000s to ensure responsible legal harvesting and traceability of our timber and timber products. It is also a key instrument that can be used to promote our sustainable forest management practices here in Guyana.
At the heart of the wood tracking system is a log tracking tag issued to operators free of cost. Its purpose is to track the geographic origin of the harvested timber and identify the forest sector operator to whom it was issued. Log tracking tags allow for the GFC to effectively monitor and control the forest produce from its origin in the forest to the end user in the entire supply chain. Large-scale forest sector operators receive tags in adherence to the maximum allowable cut, which is the lower volume figure of the annual allowable cut and the inventory volume submitted on the pre-harvest inventory sheets. Small-scale forest sector operators receive tags based on the quota for the approved contractual period. The quota is based on a simple formula, where the area of the concession in hectares is multiplied by 0.27 cubic meters per hectare. Here's how tagging works. After the harvesting of the tree, the tag to be used is divided into two halves along the perforated lines. The stump half is affixed to the stump, while the other half is secured to the log. It is also recommended that a forest sector operator paint the tag number on the stump and the log for extra security in case tags are damaged or in the unlikely event that it becomes detached from the log. If the log is converted into lumber in the forest or at the landing, the tag is affixed to the batch of produce from the converted log. The GFC has forest officers at forest stations countrywide. Each station uses a computerized database to manage log tracking tags. These forest stations are equipped with tag scanners and division-specific tag allocation registers, which track and record all tags issued. This computerized database system allows the system to function smoothly. All commercial logging operations within state forests, Amerindian villages, private lands, and state lands in conversion must obtain tags from the GFC to transport their produce. Forest sector operators request tags through a tag request form. Tags are issued in sequence and batches, and all tags must be accounted for at the end of the contractual period. Forest produce requiring tagging includes logs, lumber, piles, poles, and posts. However, charcoal, spars, and wattles do not require tagging. Their location of harvesting and/or point of production must be recorded on the data sheet, issued with removal documents, and declared to the GFC. The forest sector operator must label multiple log pieces from a single tag tree with the corresponding tag number on the stump. For logs cut into multiple pieces, use the same tag number with letters A, B, or C for each piece. This precision is key to maintaining accurate records. Unused tags should be returned annually or upon request. If a tag is damaged or lost, the FSO must promptly report the lost tag or return the damaged tag to the nearest forest station. Tags issued by the GFC, specifically for infrastructural works on the concession, such as constructing bridges or camps, are not included as part of the quota. While these infrastructural tags are separate from the quota, the process of tracking them remains the same. This includes recording and declaring all its relevant information to the GFC. Trees can be salvaged or harvested commercially from areas being converted to non-forest uses, such as areas for mining, agriculture, or infrastructural works. Before moving any salvaged timber, it is necessary to obtain the GFC's verification to ensure its origin. Now that we have completed the procedures for tagging forest produce, we will review the essential transport documents needed to transport timber products from state forests in Guyana. A removal permit is the official document for legally moving timber products from state forest areas. It is also the legal invoice for the Guyana Forestry Commission to collect royalties. Removal permits are issued to the concession holder or their authorized agent. The removal permit uplifting register issued by the GFC and the valid ID are required to obtain removal permits from the GFC. With every removal permit, a production register is issued. When the forest sector operator is ready to transport timber, specific sections of the removal permit need to be completed accurately by the FSO and the production register attached as shown on the screen. Date of removal, destination, location of concession and concession folio number, vehicle type and number, driver or captain's name, name of permittee, number of tags used, produce type, species, number of pieces, volume, amount of tags used per species, tag numbers. When transporting forest produce, FSOs are required to transit at all forest stations on that route until the final destination. The relevant document must be declared to the forest officer for verification. After the timber reaches its final destination, the forest sector operator has 24 hours to submit the completed removal permit to the nearest forest station, along with the production register for the specific timber transported under this permit. A removal permit is valid for 30 days from the date of issuance. After 30 days, unutilized permits are expired and must be returned to the nearest forest station for cancellation. Transporting timber with an expired removal permit is an offense. The GFC will treat the timber as if it were transported without a document and it will be detained. A trip sheet is used in connection with a removal permit when the forest produce on a permit has to be transported using several trips. Trip sheets allow for loads of timber to be transported in smaller portions to destinations if the entire timber haul is too large for a single trip. Trip sheets are used before the total volume of forest produce is declared on the removal permit at the forest station to allow for royalty payment. Trip sheets are issued to the concession holder or their authorized agent. Trip sheets are valid for 30 days from issuance. However, if used at a later date than the removal permit was issued, they expire at the same time as the removal permit. So it is important to use trip sheets within the same time frame as the removal permit. After delivering the timber to its destination, the forest sector operator has 24 hours to submit the trip sheet and the completed removal permit to the nearest forest station. A transshipment permit is used to transport forest produce from the point where the removal permit has already been surrendered and royalty has been assessed. A bill of sale is a document generally used to transport value-added forest produce, such as rough lumber from the sawmill or dressed lumber from the lumber yard to another destination. A bill of sale issued by the forest sector operator will contain important details about the timber being purchased. These details include the species, supplier, destination, official stamp, volume, and pieces of forest produce, and tag numbers. The final part of this guide covers essential documents for transporting timber from private lands, Amerindian villages, confiscated sources, and for export. When a forest sector operator harvests timber from private lands or Amerindian villages for commercial purposes, a private property removal declaration is required. This document authorizes the transport of timber products from lands considered private. For confiscated timber suspected to be illegal, the GFC uses two documents to control transport. Custody forms are used when the timber remains with the forest sector operator or the accused. This form allows the transport of the timber to a GFC-approved location. Seizure forms are issued when the GFC takes full custody of the timber products. After confiscated timber is deemed legal for re-entering the supply chain, the GFC issues a clearance pass. The clearance pass document authorizes its onward transportation and utilization of the timber. A timber marketing certificate is required for all inspected timber to be exported and must accompany the shipment, regardless of origin. It allows the timber to be transported. The production register captures crucial information on forest produce being transported, including its location, volume, species, and type of produce harvested. The GPS location of harvesting and/or point of production must be recorded and declared to the GFC on the production register for forest produce that does not require tagging, for example, charcoal, wattles, and spars. Remember, a production register must accompany the removal permit or private property removal declaration and provide detailed information about the timber to be removed.
By adhering to Guyana's wood tracking system guidelines, a forest sector operator can contribute significantly to the responsible forest management, legality, and sustainability of the forestry sector. This video is just a guide. Please refer to the relevant procedures that can be found on our website that will be shown on the screen. Thank you.